I'm Ann Smith, retired Air Force. And let me set the stage for y'all here. It was 1977, 78. Aircraft maintenance just opened up to women officers, and there were female mechanics, but I was in one of the first classes of women aircraft maintenance officers. And my first duty station was in Germany. And when I got there, I was the only woman officer on base. There was nurses on base, but the hospital was off base, so I didn't get to see them much. I was the only woman in the dorm. It was pretty lonely. Now, some women would have loved to have been in the dormitory with all fighter pilots. Me, not so much. Anyway, being the only woman in a predominantly male career field, I had a lot of attention and most of the criticism. And that makes you tough, or that makes you cower. And very quickly, I decided it was on my shoulders to change some attitudes. And then I was given an extra duty. Base Women's Advisor. I mean, who else was going to do it, right? Anyway, my name got around then, and so did the accusations. Because did you know that if you were an assertive woman, you have to be a lesbian? Have to be. Anyway, go figure. I was lucky enough to have a personality that would overcome the harassment and prove my value and establish my reputation. And then it happened. Picture it. There I was, a brand new second lieutenant, standing outside my office. That was an aircraft hangar, smoking a cigarette, looking cool. A bread truck rode by, and that's like a UPS truck. We didn't have UPS back then, just bread trucks. And it was filled with mechanics, male mechanics. It drove by. Just then, the back doors fly open. And all I heard, guys hanging out, all I heard was the C word. And it wasn't the C, it was really the C word. And I was like, and the door slammed shut. I was like, oh, no, you didn't. I said, now this is my time. I ran, I got my keys, jumped in my little truck, chased that bread truck on the flight line, got to the next aircraft hangar. They stopped. They all got out. There was like 10 of them. And I'm like, oh, shit, what do I do now? So here I am. Now I was half the size as I am now. Although I'm shorter now. Anyway, I came up to him and I said, what made you think it would be okay to call me a C word? No, I didn't say C word. I said the word, which made them almost crap in their fatigues. But that's when they said, oh, ma'am, I didn't call you a C word. I called him a C word because he was pushing me out of the ass end of the truck. And I was like, okay, believe what you will. However, reputation established right then. So it must have been a pretty funny conversation to hear in the background all these C words going back and forth. But at the same time, it made me. So 2 months later, I was moved to the flight line, and those guys worked for me. So, Justice served, and they never let me forget that story either. Anyway, throughout the years, my years, many situations like this happened. But the career that gave me the most pride gave me the most shame. Because here I was giving 100% to the mission, and I was lying the entire time. This was before Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and they asked you, are you homosexual? And you said, oh, hell no. You're looking around for the gay guy to be your boyfriend, right? And I had a lot of them, by the way. Anyway. Luckily, I had supervisors and commanders that probably knew about me, but they truly liked me. And my humor helped. But I always had to be that guy who knew more than anyone in the room. I worked for a colonel who would sit there and he'd snap his fingers at me to give him answers for the general's questions. And I carried around this book of every aircraft that was in the fleet and everything that was wrong with it. And when somebody asked a question, Colonel Rankin, and I'd be the little parrot. And so that worked for a while. And my service to the country was definitely stronger than my fear and the necessity to hide. But after years of the career I loved, I knew it was time to be true to my hidden self, and I retired. Still feeling the shame for compromising my integrity, but proud enough to do it honorably. And hiding and lying was a huge burden that so many of us accepted. But isn't it great that it became unacceptable? And how great it is that the hangar doors are now open and you can serve out and proud, and hopefully it's here to stay. Thanks a lot.